the overview of the ERP, and then we'll proceed to the what is Dynamics 365 and the course objectives, the training, job opportunities, all those topics will be covered. So we'll start with the ERP. So ERP, the full form of ERP is Enterprise Resource Planning. So if you take example of any manufacturing company or production company, right? So they'll be having multiple departments internally, like accounts payable, accounts receivable, general ledger team, HR team, supply chain management, sales and marketing. A lot of teams will be there, right? So rather than using multiple softwares for to do their daily activities, it is always suggested to have one single software which can integrate the activities from the multiple departments. So that we'll call it as an ERP. So in market there are many such ERPs are there. So Microsoft Dynamics 365 is also one of the popular ERP which is developed by the Microsoft. And the main purpose of having an ERP is to integrate all the business processes that are happening across the within your business or the manufacturing company or production company, or if it is a service based, even in service based companies also, if it is a software companies, they do also have multiple departments, right? Like vendors, customers, lot of details will be there. They need to maintain all the details, the data of each and every the transactions. So it is always essential to have a ERP to run your business. And if you take it as a typical example of any business model, right? So it will involve, these are the modules that you can see. Finance team will be there, purchasing, manufacturing, inventory management, customer engagement team will be there. So once apart from the sales and marketing team, a dedicated CRM team will be there who take care of the customer related issues, right? That will call it as a customer relationship management or customer engagement. Right now, we'll call it as a customer engagement. And along with that, now e-commerce is also one of the most commonly used. Almost each and every company, they have a website and they can order, you can place an orders from their website directly. Even if it is not, they don't focus on website, but still e-commerce is a kind of a add-on to their existing business. If it is into any product based, physical goods based like manufacturing or production or anything, and service related, if they are into, if you take an example of any installation services companies will be there where their focus or their most of the activities will be involved on installations like service based. And project management, accounting, costing related, HR department will be there. So these are the most commonly used department, or most commonly departments which are available, which will be a part of any organization. And along with that, analytics and reporting is also essential for the stakeholders to see the reports and to take a call, to take basically to make a decision making. So reports and analytics are most important. So an ERP should cover, or a ERP should support all such modules or all such functionalities which are required for the management or the department wise as well. Right. So these are the topics, these are the modules that will be a part of the ERP. Apart from that, as and when there is a requirement from the customers, right? So an ERP should support for any such expansion as well to add a new modules, and they'll keep on adding the lot of latest features in any of the ERP. So if you take a typical organization with multiple departments, so you might have seen, if you're already working, or right, you can see the finance team will be there, HR team, inventory team, production, manufacturing. So finance module, they handle all the financial transactions, accounting related, preparation of financial reports, monthly, yearly, right? And HR team, they take care of the salary payments and employee related information. And if there are any other like their skill set, learning and development, and onboarding, offboarding, lot of activities they do take care, right? So they, and inventory management. If you take an example of Amazon, Flipkart, they mostly focus on the warehouse supply chain management, right? So because they need to have a proper software to maintain the data of their inventory, and it is necessary for them to have a track on each and every inventory, so that they can plan their purchases, sales whenever there is a sale, right? So they need to have enough stock to meet the requirements of the customers for to dispatch or to confirm the sales orders and all. So a lot of such activities are involved as a part of inventory management. All are interdependent, right? This and production manufacturing company. So they need to have a have a data to plan their production for the next couple of weeks. What is the quantity they need to manufacture, and what is the stock they need to maintain, and how many resources they need to allocate. Maybe if they have 100 employees, is it necessary for them to use all the 100 employees to meet the requirements of the production, or all such details, that those things happen in the production and manufacturing modules. So these are few typical activities that happens in any of the company. If it depends on if it is a service based or if it is a manufacturing or production companies, right? So when there are multiple departments are involved, at the end of the day, a business runs on the customer information, the customer, the transactions only, right? So it is always necessary to have a single click data, or like you should have an easy access to the data, so that you can easily help the customer to deliver their goods, or to meet the requirements, or to supply or anything. At the end of the day, you need to have a you understand the demand from the customers, whether you are able to deliver their expected requirement or not. So all such the information whatever that you are looking, right, so that is available with the help of if you have a real time updates. Because if the information from between departments are not connected, or if it is not easily accessible, so how will you identify? It is practically not possible. So that is why ERP integrates all such departments information. And obviously it is mandatory that you should have a real time insights. So real time insights is like whenever there is a dispatch to the sales or to the customer's place, immediately the other teams also should get an update that this is something which is already orders placed or anything. In simple example, if you place order in online Amazon or any Flipkart, you will keep on getting the messages, right? The product has been dispatched, the product has been out for delivery, the attempted delivery, it is not yet delivered. All these are will called as a real time insights. You need to have an update. So ERP should support all such real-time insights. That is with the help of nowadays they have already integrated. They started using AI and machine learning also to get to improve all such, how to trigger all such notifications, everything. And definitely this will having an access to the real-time insights or updates will help you to take a quick decisions about your business as well. And lot of automated activities or automation also is required, because most of the repeated task or the commonly used functionalities you can make it automation. So these are the few uh, topics that you should remember, or these are the functionalities I can say, so that you should remember whenever you are using the ERP. So typically if you take an example of any company, right, so you'll be able to visualize all such departments will be working, and how it is important to have such multiple departments, the information whatever that you're going to share, right. It is necessary that other departments also should know, even though they are not working. See, purchase department, they will plan their purchases based on the information that they receive from the internal departments, and sales and marketing team according to their the requirements of the say, whether they had to run the ads or marketing, any stalls they need to run, offers, all this information that they can plan only if they have an information, right, whether you have enough stock or not. So without having enough stock they cannot do all such things. So all these are integrated. So in market there are many such ERPs are there, as I mentioned. Microsoft Dynamics 365, SAP, Oracle. So these are few most commonly used, and Microsoft Dynamics 365 is completely developed by the Microsoft. So yeah, in the coming in the coming slide, we will discuss about the other topics, like if you want to get into an ERP side, what all career opportunities will be there, and what all skills that you need to acquire and all. So far, did you get an idea what is the ERP is all about?
Yes, Srinivas.
All right. So now let's others. Can you please confirm, Gautami? Are you able to understand what is ERP? And
Yes, sir. This is very useful. All right.
Gautami? All right. So if you have any doubts, you can pass me there.
Yeah, yeah. I'm good with.
All right. So now let's get into the other what is Dynamics 365 and how does it looks, everything that we'll also just go through that. All right. So can you see my screen now? All right. Yeah. So Microsoft Dynamics, as we were discussing, right? So Microsoft Dynamics 365 is also one of the ERP, and the difference or how it is different from other ERPs is it is completely cloud based. So the two different types of softwares will be there. One is on-premise software and one is cloud-based. So cloud-based is something which you can access anywhere with just a login credentials like Gmail, Facebook, we have an access, right? And on-premise software has to be installed. If any organization wants to use an ERP, they have to install the software and only with the dedicated servers which are available, they should be able to use it. But D360 in short going forward we'll be using that word as a D365. So D365 is completely cloud based, where users can access from anywhere, basically to encourage or it is flexible to use like remote workspaces or hybrid workspaces, right? So as we were discussing this nowadays, most of the companies are there. They wanted to have a cloud based softwares or ERPs. It is not required for them to install, so that it is not that much user friendly. So now most of the companies they have already upgraded to the cloud based. And these are the previous versions of Microsoft Dynamics 365. So currently, whatever we are using, that is D365. So earlier, these were the names. Initially, it was by the Danish software company that was known as an Acceptor. Later, a lot of changes they have added, and Microsoft has acquired. So you can see these are the versions like 1.5, 2.0, 3.0. In 2006 June, they have changed the name. Microsoft has changed the name to AX 4.50, and later you can these are the names AX 2008, 2012, R2, R3. Now from 2017 and 2018, they have completely renamed it as a Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations. And previous versions, you might hear in case if you get into the project, right? So you might hear the previous versions names as well, because most of the customers they wanted to migrate from previous versions to latest versions. Yeah. And Microsoft Dynamics 365 can be easily integrated with the Power Platform tools, because Power Platform is also their homegrown app, right? So Power BI, Power App, Power Flow, Power Automate. So these are again extended functionalities that can be used in any ERP. Like Power BI is used for reporting purpose, and Power Automate, Power App, these are used to create a workflows or any other activities which can be automated, like vendor invoice automation, and there are few other activities which are mostly used by this Power Platform. So Dynamics supports all such Power Platform tools, and it can be easily integrated with the third-party tools as well. So let's say if customer is using Salesforce for CRM, so that can be easily integrated with D365 with the help of connectors. So how does this connector works is again with the help of Power Platform. And this is the overview of the ecosystem that Microsoft has created. And if you observe here, from here, sales, marketing, customer service, customer voice, field service, insights, these are again mostly related to customer engagement. These are interconnected with the customer engagement. So this project operations is used by both finance as well as customer engagement. And there's a separate team. I mean, within finance and operations itself, even supply chain management and HR are covered. And Business Central, this is used for the mid-size organizations. D365 finance and operations that is used for the enterprise organizations or the large enterprise, large organizations. And commerce that is used for the brick and mortar stores will the physical stores will be there, right? So for those stores, this commerce is used. And the project operations as we this is again used by the both finance and as well as customer engagement. Fraud protection is also one of the module that they have introduced. And apart from this, they have introduced a lot of new modules as well, and they'll keep on introducing based on the changes that are happening across the industry. So these are few modules, like as we were discussing. Business Central is used for the mid-size organizations, and next is a commerce module that is again used for the uh, like the physical stores, like those who runs on the like Reliance retail. They have a physical stores, right? So they use this commerce module. And customer engagement that is completely for the sales and marketing and any other customer engagement related activities. So within finance and operations, in the coming slide we will be discussing the modules that are covered. So HR is also part of the finance and operations, and even see within finance and operations you can see HR, sales and marketing, supply chain management. But the difference between finance and operations, supply chain management, HR is there is a thin line between see if the business is completely focused on like warehouse management related, like Amazon, Flipkart, any e-commerce based, right? Most of their activities will involve in both. Like they need to have accounts payable teams, receivable team, vendor management team, and apart from that, warehouse management, advanced warehouses, packing, pickings, transport, logistics, a lot of other teams are there, right? So these will be part of the supply chain management team, like procurement and sourcing, like inventory management, and any other master planning. All such departments will be part of the supply chain management. And in finance and operations, here most of them will be the most of the modules that are completely focused on the financial that are connected with the finance activities. So which starts with the general ledger, cash and bank management, accounts payable, accounts receivable, tax, budgeting, fixed assets, project management, accounting, subscription billing. So general ledger is for the to record the day-to-day transactions and to prepare the financial reports. Cash and bank management is used to manage the bank accounts that you have and the transactions that you're going to post in your bank accounts. Accounts payable also or will also call it as a procurement to payment. So accounts payable, accounts receivable, these are connected for both supply chain management as well as finance and operations. Finance and tax module if you whatever the business that you're doing, right, you will have to pay some tax to the government. So how will you pay that? You're going to You need to have a proper records, the tax related records. All such details will be covered in the tax module. And budgeting is used to allocate the resources or to allocate the budget for your future business. Fixed assets is used to record the transactions or to manage your fixed assets like machinery, furniture, vehicles, right? These details are added in the fixed assets module. And project management accounting that is used to record the transactions to based on the projects wise. If you take an example of any real estate, they might be having multiple construction projects, right? So they need to allocate the resources, expenses, project wise. They cannot club everything. If there are 2 3 buildings, the expenses and income that are related to specific building, they have to consider it as a project. So if the business is into such project based, then they use this project management accounting to bill the resources. And subscription billing module, this is again used by the companies whose business runs on the subscriptions. Like you have this Amazon, Flipkart, so not Amazon, Netflix, all these are based on the subscriptions, right? Every month you need to pay certain amount and you'll have to show them as an expense or income in your business. So all such extra modules that all those topics will be covered in subscription billing module. Yeah, so these are the modules that you're going to cover in the finance and operations module. And so any ERP, right? So if customer wanted to implement, Dynamics 365 in their software, or if they wanted to migrate Dynamics 365 from their previous versions, or currently they might be using SAP or any other Oracle or any other ERP, and if they want to migrate to Dynamics 365, so they'll be approaching a companies like any implementation partners. So implementation partners, they will hire a team that is functional as well as technical consultants. So technical consultants, they'll be mostly focused on the development part and any deploying related activities, which are mostly into coding or any other activities, which might require SQL or X++ language. But apart from that, they also need to have a functional consultant. The role of a functional consultant is to ensure that the features which are already there in the standard format, standard, right? So they should be able to explain the customer how to use that one. How is that possible? Again, is the way with the help of, you need to have a thorough understanding about the modules that you're going to handle. So that we will anyway, I'll just take you a walkthrough about the demo in the next couple of minutes. So here, as a functional consultant, your role will be limited, or your role will be limited only with the non-coding related, where you will understand the customer requirement, whether what all modules they need to have. You'll prepare a document. We'll start analyzing what all features they are going to use and whether they are available or not. Implementation, testing, and you will have to test each and every functionality. So once you start testing each and every functionality, then only you can. So there is a process that we'll have to follow, that we'll call it as an implementation methodology. So you will be a part of any working with the customer that is related to im- uh, preparation of documents like functional requirement document, functional design document, solution design document, with all the functional aspects, how to create if it is an example, if you take typical example, how to create a purchase order, the steps that are required to create a purchase order, to create a sales orders. So all those steps that you're going to prepare a documentations, you will help the customer in testing, identifying the requirements, all such activities you're going to do that. And these are the project types that you can expect, like support. Maybe support is again for the existing customers. Let's say a few customers are already using Dynamics 365 from last 3 years or 5 years. So they might raise the tickets whenever they come across any challenges, right? So if you're a part of the support project, then you will have to explain them, and you need to understand their challenges or the difficulties, why they're not able to perform. We'll do the troubleshooting steps and you'll help the customer by giving the solution. Implementation is completely from the scratch. Let's say they wanted to implement a Dynamics 365 from, or they wanted to migrate from any other software, so that you're going to implement it from the scratch. Upgradation project also you might get. Upgrading project is like, as in the initial the second slide we have seen, right? There are a lot of previous versions like AX12 R3, so they need to upgrade mandatory from previous versions to latest, because the user interface and the feel and touch of the latest version is completely changed, and it is going to support a lot of security related. In terms of security aspects also, they have enabled a lot of features. So Microsoft has almost made it as a mandatory, we can say, to upgrade from previous versions to latest versions. So even in that case also, it is kind of a complete implementation from scratch, because they need to flush out the data from their previous versions to latest version by testing functionalities. A lot of activities are there, right? So when they roll out to the latest versions, and testing is a part of implementation or upgradation, where you'll prepare the test cases, test scenarios, and if you there we you will come across, these are the environment types that you're going to use, that is UAT, sandbox, dev, production. So UAT is a user acceptance testing, and sandbox. These two are the testing environments. So these are used whenever during this implementation, upgradation, or testing process. So to prepare the test cases, and we need to test each and every functionality. So that you're going to do with the help of UAT and sandbox. And development environment, that is again used by the technical team to prepare the test. So to for any out of the box functionalities or any customizations and any other technical related testing, if they wanted to do that, they'll use the development. Once all these things, once you done with the UAT sandbox development, and if there are no issues, then once we get a sign off from the customer, you will go ahead with the production. So typically, this is how these are the environments that you're going to use. And as we discussed, there are a lot of activities that you'll have to involve, and as a part of implementation project. Yeah. So far, do you have any doubts? And did you understand what is your role? What kind of job that you can expect?
Srinivas, yeah, like it's a kind of business analyst kind of role, right? Is it similar to BA? Like we need to take the requirements from the
Functional.
customers and we need to analyze them.
Correct. So it is, you can either call it as a business analyst or functional consultant.
Mhm.
Uh, like uh, there are different names that you call it as. But
Okay, okay.
here we are not going to involve the coding related, only functional aspects. So now I'll just take you a walkthrough about the tool, so you'll get to know how does a tool looks like.
Okay, sure. One
Uh,
question. Yeah. Go
then
ahead,
is
Gautam.
SCM and FNO.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
SCM, supply chain management, and FNO. What is the
Uh-huh.
difference?
Yeah, so finance and operations that completely focus on the finance aspects, and supply chain management that will focus on the warehouse related activities, and transport logistics. So these are the setups that you need to configure in as a part of supply chain management. So now I'm going to show you the demo to so that all your doubts will be cleared here.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So can you see my screen here?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the home page of the Dynamics 365, and this is how it looks like. So here you can see these are the workspaces that which are already available. On the left side, you can see these are the list of the modules: accounts payable, receivable, asset management, and system administration, time attendance, project management, procurement and sourcing, production control, retail and commerce, right? And these are the list of the workspaces. You can see whatever you can see. These are the workspaces you can see as as a list. And the difference between finance and operations, as we were discussing, finance, see, the tool is same for both supply chain management, transport, logistics, production, manufacturing. The tool will remain same. But within finance and operations, if you divide only the finance related modules, you can see it starts with the general ledger, followed by accounts payable, receivable, cash and bank management, consolidation, the basics of inventory management, and the tax module. And the supply chain management modules will be, it involves vendor collaboration, warehouse management, transportation, and sales and marketing, product information management, procurement and sourcing. So if I elaborate, let me just click on any of this. General ledger. So here you can see these are the functionalities which are available within general ledger module. So there are a lot of features are available, but it is not necessary that every customer will be using all the functionalities, right? So we will be covering most commonly used features and how to use that one and how to help the customer in using that one. So your role as a functional consultant, let's say if you want to, you're familiar with the purchase orders and sales orders, right? If you want to purchase if any product, let's say 10 quantity or 20 quantity of laptop, if you visit any store, they'll create a purchase order like with the sample quotations. So being a functional consultant, you should know how to use all such functionalities, how to create a purchase order, what is the finance impact. All such demonstration will have to do it to the customer. So if they wanted to implement Dynamics 365, depends on the size of the product, it takes maybe 6 months or 1 year to complete the project or to go live. So initially we will start preparing the functional requirement documents, we will start identifying their existing requirements, and then we will also take them a walkthrough. Say this is how it looks like. There you can see the list of all vendors, all such demonstration that we'll have to do, and we'll need to make them understand these are the features which are already there, because they might have done their the basic research. That is why they have decided to migrate from the other ERPs to Dynamics 365. But we have to explain them in a detailed way. How does that makes difference from other ERPs, or these are the latest features that are available. And once if you start, the implementation process, as we discussed, most commonly used functionalities that you will have to explain them. We'll be preparing a documentations for each and every requirement, how the steps that you will have to that you're going to have it right to create a purchase order. What is the first step, second step, what is the impact, the finance impact, how does it affect the financial reports, all such explanations or all such activities that you will be part of that one. And supply chain management will not involve any such accounting or finance related activities. They will be mostly focusing on the setups configurations that are related for the supply chain, the warehouse related activities, sales and marketing that you can see. So we as a finance consultant will be focusing on the finance parts, and we'll be covering all these modules. And most of you are not from the commerce background. So initially we will be covering the basics of accounts. And once you are able to understand the basics of accounts and rest of the you will be able to understand how does the finance impacts everything. Yeah. So these are the topics that we are going to cover. And yeah, modules also have seen. I'll quickly show you the syllabus that we are going to cover. Yeah. So this is a course content. So basics of accounts will be covering. That is for the non-commerce, and maybe like 4 to 5 classes. That is enough. Once you are able to understand the basics of accounts, and you will be par with the rest of them as well. And these are the topics that we are going to cover as a part of implementation. The real time, sorry, how to create the legal entity, the general ledger, currency, how does it works, and main accounts, financial related topics. These are, and followed by cash and bank management, accounts payable, accounts receivable, fixed assets, acquisition of fixed assets, budgeting, and the basics of inventory management and product information management, workspaces, and how to configure, how to integrate Power BI integration with financial reports. And Copilot is again the latest feature which is Microsoft has recently launched. It is kind of a chat GPT. They have developed their own AI tool that is a Copilot, which helps in automating or which helps customers in uh, doing their daily activities in a quicker way. That's different. Yeah. And as a part of this course, right, so the main agenda is to not only cover the theoretical part. So as a part of this one, we'll be covering the real-time scenarios, because that is most important. uh, we'll be giving you an assignments where you can start preparing those. You can start providing the solutions, like the real-time support tickets or issues will be I'll be sharing with you, and you can start finding the solutions for that, so that you will get an hands-on experience and what all activities that happens in the implementation activities, and how do you want to stay updated, how will you stay updated with the latest features. That is also most important. Every day the new topics, the new uh, uh, the features that Microsoft keep on adding, right, you need to stay updated. So all such the guidance on the latest updates, features, how to uh, follow them, and with the help of the mock entries also will be conducting once the training is completed. And once you have it a hands-on experience, then you can start getting into the process. So these are the topics, like once the training is completed, you'll be able to understand how to prepare the documentations. That is the most important, like FRD, FDD, solution design document. We will in depth, we will discuss one in the coming session, that is about the implementation methodology. Yeah, and the module specific training, which we have already seen, the topics the syllabus, whatever that we have seen, and configurations, data migration, right? So that is also important. So most of the companies, they migrate the data. They wanted to migrate because they from their previous versions or from other ERPs to latest, the Dynamics 365. How does that happens? And the business process, workflows, security, the basics of again security roles, UAT, and how does these are a part of the implementation project itself. Intercompany master data. Yeah. So yeah, this is about, and the duration of the course will be around at least 3 months, 80 to 90 hours it will take, daily 1 hour, because every Saturday we will be discussing about the real-time scenarios, and we'll be having a kind of a doubts clearing session where you can practice from Monday to Friday, whatever the topics that we have discussed, and Saturday kind of a revision, as well as the support tickets, real-time implementations, all such topics will be covered. So this is about the course content and the job opportunities that you might get if you are into the Dynamics 365. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. And if you have any doubts, you can ask me.